Good evening. This is the Simple Man Wrestling Podcast. This is episode 11, and this is going to be our NCAA preview show. I'm Brian Batista. I'm here with Brady Beeman and Sean O'Rourke, as always. What's up, guys? How we doing tonight?
Doing good?
Yeah, that was good.
Nice intro, Brian. Looking forward to NCAAs, that's for sure. I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. We got two more sleeps and then we're there. I'm getting anxious.
Yeah. Do you measure your days by sleeps, by nights, by days?
I think so. I'm like, all right, 2 more nights. Like, let's do this.
How closely would you attribute maybe like the NCAA weekend to like something else? Like, would you attribute it like, is it on like birth of your child level? Is it on like Christmas level? Is it on like a new pair of wrestling shoes level?
Oh man, it's definitely better than a new pair of wrestling shoes. That's for sure. Cause I get more entertainment out of it. I don't know. Wrestling shoes is like, you're like, yes, I got a new pair. I open them. You're excited. And then that goes away. Like NCAAs is like 5 or 6 sessions or whatever. So you get like first session, you get hyped up. Cool. You got those matches. You're like, all right, I'm ready for these second round matches. Okay. Second session, boom. And then you sleep and you wake up and you're like, quarterfinals, what the heck? And it's just like, boom, like after, and it just keeps getting better.
What about you, Sean? Is NCAA weekend, is it better than Christmas?
Ooh, it's close. It might be Jesse Shear just calling me. Yeah, no, it might be better than Christmas. It's got to be top 3, one of my favorite times of the year.
So Sean, just quick interjection. Are you saying it's better than the birthday of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
I knew he was going to do that.
I knew he was going to go there.
That's why I defaulted.
It's not quite that good.
I don't know why it's so funny to you.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got?
Let's talk first. We were all kind of talking last night. We have a fantasy league that we're in. And one hot topic right now is just in wrestling in general. There's tons of fantasy leagues that are out there. There's I think WrestleStat.com has come a long way with what they're doing with all the dynasty leagues and the drafts, and there's NCAA tournament drafts now that you could pick 10 guys, and there's a million different ways you can do it, right? Just there's a million ways to skin a cat, but I think it's really popular right now. I really enjoy doing it. I entered a couple different drafts on WrestleStat hosted by some different people, and then obviously we held our own draft. So Brian, what do you think about fantasy wrestling, and where do you see it going forward?
Well, for one, like just thinking about the benefits of it, like, I mean, you see that just showing just how the sport has evolved. You see it already with other things. Like, I mean, the big one, it's March Madness, and everyone like, if you're outside of wrestling and you hear March Madness, you think immediately of basketball, right? So, I mean, there's brackets, there's fantasy pick'ems. Kind of what's already there now with wrestling, it's coming along, but I think it just kind of to show the level of interest that maybe is a little bit closer to that of basketball. Yeah, I'm in a couple leagues right now, and it's interesting preparing for 2 different rule sets. For the one that I'm doing, it's kind of just all the local coaches in Bakersfield. You basically just get like 10 picks, though you can pick once per weight, and then you can pick 1 per seed. And it's not like, it's just like a pick 'em. It's not like a snake draft, like how we did. So I think it kind of just adds a different level to it, different layer to it. I don't know. I think that one was fun. And then getting ready for this one was fun too, because it's like, you're not going to get that perfect lineup that maybe you can try to do with a pick 'em. But I thought it was fun. I think it would have been a lot cooler if I could have been there with you guys, but.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe if we keep building it up, we'll have to bring you down. It'll be like a little special, like, reunion trip, post state tournament and conferences, and then get a little draft. But I like the way we do ours. I like the snake draft. It makes you kind of have to get creative, especially when we do the dark horses, where we do 2 dark horse picks where they have to be outside of the top 10 seed. I think it makes you kind of dive deeper into guys' seasons and where they're at in the bracket and who they could potentially beat and lose to. versus just going out there and just picking, hey, these are the top seeds. But I think there is like a lot of fantasy type things that are similar to what you said, where you can only pick a certain seed, or you have this amount of money and these guys are worth this much. Those are cool too. I did a couple of those last year. I haven't done one yet. I'll probably do one here soon.
So. Yeah, get in one. Before we go into our draft and how we did it and who we ended up with, I was talking to one of our wrestlers' parents the other day, and we're talking about the national tournament, NCAAs, and kind of came up like, well, hey, if your athlete is one day going to be wrestling in this tournament, and this is just my opinion, maybe you guys have a similar or different opinion to it, but you could win Fargo, right? You could be coaching your athlete in Fargo. You could coach your athlete at Super 32, at the state tournament, at, whatever tournament you could think of, right? Win the biggest tournament possible in high school. I think that those all create great highs, great moments where I look back and I'm like, that was such a fun time. That was such an ecstatic moment. I think of Brian doing the double freaking clutched fists when Miguel Estrada wins state. I think when I travel to the national tournament for the first time, because I haven't been yet, and I get to watch one of my former athletes compete, I think that automatically tops every one of those tournaments that we coached at. In my opinion, I don't know.
Have you guys go ahead, Brady?
Well, I was going to say, I can speak from, I've only been once, and I will say it is by far my best wrestling experience ever. And I started wrestling when I was 7 years old. So,
and you weren't even coaching. You went.
I wasn't even coaching. I was just a fan. I was a spectator, and it was amazing.
You didn't have a previous athlete of yours competing either.
No, but I think this is kind of cool. I think Sac City's coach, or maybe he's retired now, but I think when he was in college, or a few years ago when I was in college, he promised like all his athletes that continued on from Sac City, that if they made a national tournament, whatever it was, NAI, D3, D2, whatever, he would go and support them and be there no matter what.
Yeah.
And
I'm in that same boat, I feel like.
I know he did it. I mean, a couple of my teammates, like 2 or 3 of them were D2 guys, NAI guys and stuff, that he definitely went to them. So he held up his end of the bargain. I think that's pretty cool. It might break the bank a little bit, but gotta figure it
out. One of our our head club coach down here at Granite Wrestling Club, Justin Martin, he's heading out there to go watch Mateo Olmos, Oregon State 12 seed at 174. He wrestled at Mater Dei Catholic High School, my alma mater. And Justin was his coach there, and he qualified for nationals for the first time, and Justin's flying out. So I think that's cool. I can't wait I'm sure all 3 of us will be in that position in the near future. And maybe we'll be doing our draft at the host site. Maybe, who knows? That would be kind of cool.
I mean, I have a job, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be there that early. But yeah, I'll maybe do like a red eye and get there, but I don't know. Yeah, I wanted to go. I was planning on going in 2020. I had like my ticket. I was figuring out flights. It was going to be a J-Rob counselor camper reunion, and I was pretty excited for that because it was in Minnesota. And then everything got canceled. So kind of bummed out. I actually was thinking that Tulsa originally was going to be, like, all right, it's going to be closer. Maybe it'll be a cheaper flight. And then just kind of doing some more digging and then just hearing stuff like on Twitter and just people that I know, it's like, no, it's a nightmare because, there's not a direct flight into Tulsa. You'd have to fly into like Oklahoma City or something and then drive like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And then just the size of the town itself, it's not like people say it's just not built for, it's not built for NCAA tournament and that size of a crowd. Right. And you think about like the number of bars and restaurants and places that there need to be, like, let's say, how many teams, like 40 something teams, 50 something teams qualify. I mean, they might have 50 something, they need to have at least 50 something restaurants because they're going to have some kind of social or something to go with it. Going, just thinking, ahead, I saw something on Twitter. So I like watching, Wrestling Changed My Life podcast. And, is it Ryan Warner? I think he's the host. He said something, about how Chicago would be a really cool city to have it because it's still kind of central. It's got a great, it's in a great wrestling area. and it'd be pretty fun. And Chicago's a cool city. Other than Chi-Town, I mean, are there any places that you guys think would be a cool spot to have NCAAs?
Las Vegas.
Oh, dude.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
What venue would you have it at? Like the Raiders Stadium?
Raiders Stadium.
I mean, if you want Raiders Stadium, that's too big, I think, in my opinion. But you could do T-Mobile Arena, which I think is like 17,000, which is about where they always are at. That's where the Las Vegas the Golden Knights play, the hockey team. Or I think what's the other one? There's one more there.
Can you fit 8 mats in there?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's huge. It's way bigger than Rabobank Arena for people wise, and then floor is the same size.
Mechanics Bank, but live your truth.
Or Mechanics Bank. But I mean, you can't ask for a better infrastructure there. You got restaurants, you got bars, you got clubs, casinos, airport that's easily accessible, probably super cheap flights. Sure. Probably a warmer climate than most of the NCAA places. Like when I went to Cleveland, it was snowing. I mean, there was snow. Yeah. It wasn't heavily snowing, but there was snow and it was freezing cold and it was windy. They had a good infrastructure. They had a lot of hotels, like within 1 to 2, like literally 1 to 2 blocks, a bunch of bars, a bunch of restaurants. It was great.
Wrestling would get in trouble there, man.
Yes, 1,000%
getting in trouble there.
Yeah, there's been a lot of chat on the Twitterverse about this Tulsa location, and a lot of people aren't happy with it, apparently.
Yeah, I heard bad things.
I don't really know, I mean, why or what the specifics were, but yeah, a lot of people
just gave you the lowdown, Sean.
A lot of it was what we just talked about, is just like the restaurants, bars, hotels, transportation, all that. Yeah, I mean, it's sold out, so there's gonna be people there. It's gonna be electric. It's gonna be fun. I wish the team race was gonna be closer, but
yeah. You never know. I mean, like outside of obviously the team champs, but like second through like 5th or 6th right now, like Missouri, Missouri's gonna have a tough run. Hey, Cornell's up there. Nebraska's still tough.
Let's make this the juice right here. This is the juice of the week. Who's gonna be the runner up? Who's gonna be second?
Well, you need to figure out, and maybe we shouldn't do it when we're recording, but what's a good intro for Juice of the Week? Can we be like a radio, like Juice of the Week, and then everyone's like juice, 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 juice. Or we can go like EDM, like juice, 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 juice.
Oh. No. All right, let's not get carried away.
I like the way Brady did it, but
I think Cornell, Iowa, Cornell, Missouri, Iowa, NC State, and Nebraska are the.
Do you have in that order?
No, not in that order.
Those are the top teams. Like
those are going to be 2 through 6. I don't think Iowa gets any lower than really like a 3rd place or maybe a 4th at the lowest, but their ceiling would be a 2. I don't know though. They got some tough draws. They got to wrestle well, and even if they do wrestle really, really good, I still don't think they get it done.
I'm going to take Cornell. Only because I'm wearing their shirt.
As runner up?
As runner up. Brady's going to take NC State.
I am not going to take NC State. I'll pull for them. I met some of the coaches out there. Good dudes. Took a tour of their school. I like them. I'm wearing Oregon. Papalizio, Hidley. Adam Hall was a little busy. I forgot. There's another coach that gave me a tour. Gosh, what was his name? I'm a bad guy for forgetting this, but yeah,
prepared.
He's another assistant coach. But Oregon State, I mean, hopefully they can do well, represent the Pac-12. I don't think
definitely be. I think in that top 10-ish range would be sick.
That'd be cool. Yeah, maybe.
Gonna need guys to perform.
There's some situations where through the brackets, I think there's going to be some hiccups. Like Matt Olguin, I mean, he's got Shane Griffith again. That's going to be a tough one. And then that blood round is going to be nasty. I mean, it could be Amin, it could be Kennedy, it could be if Carr gets upset, like he might be on that same side. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many different ways to slice it. Obviously you want to win, right? But if you get put on that backside, that's going to suck. So, I mean, maybe that's our transition. When you guys want to pull up the brackets and share it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hey, what nationals is your background right now?
That's
This-
state.
That's California State Tournament.
Oh, no way.
I can see me, right?
That's
Here.
your hometown, Brian.
Why don't we have nationals in Bakersfield?
Oh, God.
No thanks.
How many people do you think you could put in there?
I'm guessing like 12,000. My guess somewhere.
Not enough.
Not enough. Hey, what, you pulling up the brackets or what?
Yeah, Sean, you pulling up the brackets or what?
Oh, you guys want me to do it? I'll do it.
yeah, pull it up.
All right. Give me a sec. The brackets on the NCAA website have not been updated for 33s and 49s.
Pretty lame. I know. I was wondering that.
That is very lame.
I do have the current one in front of me if we need to go to the record.
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Track Wrestling because I believe they have them up already, and I believe they have the accurate one.
I think you're right.
Bear with me for a minute here, everyone.
Brian, did you make your team and select them in track wrestling and all that yet?
No, because I have to do that for two different things. I have to do that for
Oh,
our draft that we did, the snake draft, and then I have to do for my pick'em too. So I have to do it back and forth.
I think you can do. Oh yeah, you won't be able to.
No, because I could do the points and just add them myself. But I think it would just be easier for me just to.
Do you have any people in both drafts? Any are the same?
Yeah. I have Aaron Brooks in both. I have O'Toole. No, I don't have O'Toole. I have Aaron Brooks. I have DeAgostino. I think I might have Bird.
Yeah, Bird in ours for sure.
Yeah, I think my two that are outside the top 8, I think are Bird and DeAgostino.
Nice. Good picks.
Brady, who are you who are your wild cards?
My dark horses, my wild cards. I have Chris Cannon at 133.
He's the 10, right?
He is the 12.
12.
Oh, you guys, we got to talk about how we do how we did the draft. How we did the draft.
You did that.
Everyone does.
And then I took Casey Swiderski kind of out of left field, but I feel like if he's healthy, he really can compete against any of those guys. But we'll see how he does. And
I'm surprised you didn't pick Cardinal. You were talking about him in the group chat.
I was. My brother picked him like 3 picks before me. Yeah.
Look, is your brother? Is that your brother that was in there?
Yeah.
Good. I have him circled on my paper. I don't think you can see it, but literally.
Can't see it.
Oh, come on, do it.
Kendall Coleman. Anyone get him?
No. I think yeah, someone did. It was James Giblin.
Are you sure?
Yep, he picked him.
I'm having a hard time getting this up. It's telling me that.
That's all right. Well, while you're doing that,
Happens to be the best of us, Sean.
we can kind of Brian, who was your wild cards?
My wild cards. Well, I got 3. I have D'Agostino. Is he the 10?
He's the 12.
It's a 12. Man, I can't get my 10s and my 12s together. And then I have Lucas Bird, who's the 10. And then he's just my 33. He's not even my dark horse. He's just my 33.
Yeah.
And then I have Kobe Seabreck. Though we talked about before we started recording, I had like Doug Zapp like highlighted when I did my list. I had him highlighted. And then when I got to the end, I realized I would need just one. I had 1 pick left. I wrote his name down, and he was at the top of my list of like 3 or 4 people. And then I was like, Kobe Seabreck. I like him. I like the way he wrestles. He kind of throws the kitchen sink at you a little bit.
I like him too. And he's young, and I think he's improved throughout every competition throughout the year. I think he's continuously getting better. I don't have him all merit. I don't think I have him. No, I have him losing to Chase Saldate in the round of 16. But he could definitely win that match.
Yeah. I think he has somebody else too that's at that.
He has
who do you have him wrestling on the path to that?
He's got Model from Wisconsin first round, then Rob second round. I don't think he wins that. Then you would have probably Munson from Central Michigan, and then either Patty Gallagher or Chase Aldate, the winner of that. And then if he wins that, it would be probably Willawan or Ed Scott or O'Connor, which I don't see happening.
Sean, I got him pulled up if you're ready.
Yeah, my computer does not like me.
All right, you're fired.
D'Agostino, I do not have him All-Americaning. I have him losing to Brendan Courtney in the blood round. Yeah.
All right, who stands out here? Any key matchups you guys like? Anything you guys see right off the bat?
What are you doing?
Eating my dinner.
Did you just take a shot of honey?
Oh yeah, it's good stuff.
Dude.
It's a great source of carbs.
Ryan, you're muted. Brian, unmute yourself. There you go.
We're having some
technical difficulties.
Difficult errors.
Well,
why is it sharing? Dude, share screen.
I mean, while we pull it up, we can kind of talk about some stuff. I think, is there any interesting matches in the first round you guys have?
Can you hear me?
I think there's a couple. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
I like in the first round, Caleb Smith versus Killian Cardinale. I think if Cardinale's even half healthy, I think he beats Caleb Smith. If he's fully healthy, I think he destroys him. But
I mean, that match alone will kind of be the test of maybe even how this side of the bracket is going to go.
Yeah.
Right. Like a healthy Killian Cardinale. I mean, he is going to tear through this backside. I think he's better than Ramos.
Yep.
I don't think there's anybody on this side that really can take him. I'm not sure if he's on Spencer Lee level upset.
No, he's not.
But really, that would shake everything up.
He's the only guy. I think he is the only guy that Spencer didn't tech or pin. I want to say last year or maybe the year before. I think he only majored him.
Is he a 2-time AA?
Yep.
And if he's not healthy enough to get, anything going, the 12 seed, D'Agostino, another hammer.
But what do you think about his first round matchup with Volk?
Volk's no slouch. Everyone knows that. Volk is very tough, but I think D'Agostino he's savvy, he's veteran, he's been there a couple times. I think he gets past Volk, and I think he gets past if Smith sneaks by Cardinale, I think he gets past him. If it's Cardinale and D'Agostino in that round of 16 match, that's one of my favorite matches of that round if that happens. So
I feel like people don't really give Ramos a lot of credit.
I think he's good. I think he's really good. I think the guy's tough. He was an All-American up a weight last year at 33s. People don't.
And he got 2 takedowns on Spencer Lee, didn't he? Including one to his back.
Yes.
So,
yeah. He's very good. Like people don't think, maybe because he's from Purdue, but he's tough, man. I mean, I think he's for sure a semifinalist here. But D'Agostino and Cardinale are, I think, the two guys that are going to have to battle to get to him.
Yeah.
And
didn't D'Agostino, didn't he beat him at Big Tens in OT?
I don't know about that.
Beat Ramos?
Yeah. And then he forfeited to him for 3rd and 4th.
I was just looking at that. I want to say he forfeited. D'Agostino did.
Yeah, he forfeited to him for 3rd and 4th, but I'm pretty sure he beat him like in the Big Ten quarters or something like that.
I can confirm in 30 seconds. He did beat Ramos in the Big Ten championships 9-1.
Yeah.
Oh, he majored him. There you go.
And then he forfeited to him for 30.
Then he forfeited to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, D'Agostino, he's legit.
He's good. Second round matchups, anything crazy? I think there's a couple pretty good ones.
Courtney and Kaler, Pac-12 finals rematch will be good. 7 versus 10.
And like the third on the season. So it's
that would be about 187.
Rubber match.
I think the winner of that has a very good chance of All-American. I think the loser definitely has the harder route after that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that should be really good. That should be really good.
I like McKee and Poulin. I actually have McKee winning that one. That's a good one. And then Noto and Barnett. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Noto. He's been hiding, but he had a good tournament last year. I think he took out someone big. I don't know if it was Barnett or who it was. He beat someone at NCAA's last year, but he could be a sneaky little guy. I know a sneaky 8 seed, but I don't think a lot of people are counting on him.
Before we move on to 33s, do we all have Spencer Lee winning the tournament?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, who do you have as your semifinalists?
Lee versus DeAgostino, and I've got Cronin. No, I'm sorry. I have McKee versus Glory.
McKee. You have McKee.
He has McKee beating Cronin.
Glory. So you have McKee beating Steve-O. You have McKee beating
Cronin.
Possibly Certain or Cronin. You'd probably Cronin. So he'd have to beat Cronin. He'd have to beat Steve-O. That's a big one.
I have I got Lee Cardinale. I'm taking a gamble on him. I think he pulls it out. And then Cronin Glory.
Sean, you kind of changed your tune. I thought you said Matt Ramos was a lock for semis.
So,
and then I threw a stat at you, and you're like, "Nope, I'm switching."
I'm going to show you my bracket. Okay. Oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it.
I can't see it. Let me stop sharing. Let me see it.
Has the bracket has DeAgostino in the semis versus Lee. What curveball throws at me is he healthy? Is Cardinale healthy? I think there's a lot of health questions that go into this. I think if everyone's healthy and wrestling at their best, I put DeAgostino in the semis. If
no one's healthy, man. No one's healthy right now.
For sure. But I mean, like, able to wrestle 7 hard minutes. If you're not able to do that, or you're very close to being not able to do that, then yeah, maybe Ramos is the better guy. But we all got Lee as our champ, I'd imagine. So let's move on to 33s.
33s.
All right. So, I mean, we got RBY as the 1 seed. I mean, I think he might get challenged actually by Minnesota's Nagao. I think Nagao's tough. I want to say he had a good Big Tens.
He had a great Big Ten. Took second.
Second.
Yeah, was it 5-2 in the finals?
5-2.
So I think he's tough. And I can't remember exactly who he beat on the path, but he beat some tough guys on the road to the finals too.
Yeah, he did. Who did he upset?
He beat Mendez, right?
He beat Mendez in the semis.
And
yeah.
Before that, he upset oh man. Throwing a lot of blanks here.
Was it Ragusan?
Didn't do a Big Ten coverage.
He might have beat Ragusan too.
He beat Bird in sudden victory, and then he beat Mendez in sudden victory. And then he loses to RBY 5-2. And in that loss to RBY, he chose top because Nagao's a pretty solid leg rider and actually rode out RBY out.
And he gave up a takedown with 1 second left. So you take that away, it's a pretty cllose match.
Yeah, very close.
That's all hindsight, but I think RBY comes more prepared this time and takes him a little more serious. Picks his pace up in the first. But any first round matches that you guys are? I think Henson and Nagao in the first round. That's a tough one. Henson's been picking it up all season. He's like I think a redshirt freshman transfer from Iowa to Oklahoma.
You mean Henson and Philippi?
Oh my gosh, I'm looking. I didn't change my bracket. Sorry. Yes, that one.
I thought you said your bracket was updated, man.
I did. I wrote it. I have, but I'm looking at the other names. I'm stupid.
For those who don't know, the 11 seed, previous 11 seed was McGonigal from Lehigh. He had to pull out, so the bracket was updated and everyone had to shift. So some of us have old brackets, but no, I like there's a couple of good guys here. Obviously, Taylor Lamont and Latona. It's intriguing, just sort of name value. Lamont is nowhere near where he was, in the past and what he used to be, but he's still very, very dangerous and good wrestler. Latona's looking really sharp this year. And then another one is Brody Tesk and Lucas Bird.
Yeah.
And Lucas Bird. That'll be a solid Big Ten matchup right there. So those are my favorite at the weight.
Yeah.
Looking at the second round, for me, it's about 195. It's Kaleko and Bird. I have them both making it on. I have Bird getting the upset. I think Bird's pretty tough, and he's kind of shown like he kind of comes on later in the season. And I was listening to Mike Poeta's podcast on Wrestling Changed My Life, and he talks about how Bird is so good. He loses to Mendez at Michigan Open and Michigan State Open. And I still think he's very, very obviously we know he's a talented wrestler. I think he's still very capable of being an AA for sure. But he's gonna have to beat Kaleko, who's pretty tough, to possibly get in the position to be the best chances to make that, either win the quarterfinals, which is gonna be tough doing against Fix, but even on the other end, making the blood rounds.
Yeah,
I have that same upset on my bracket here in front of me.
Same.
The other upset I have is I don't think Kai Orion from NC State makes it very far. Chris Cannon's tough. Chris Cannon is very tough. He's another veteran kind of guy. I think he takes it to Kai. And that should be an interesting second round match.
Did you watch ACC's for Kai Oren's match?
Yeah.
I watched Oren. I think he had a really good tournament. He did the was the tongue thing where he went like that. He went like that at the end. Dude, that guy is bringing some energy.
Did you see? I think it's Irene.
Orion.
He's gotten better all season. At the beginning of the season, I think I texted Sean. It was like the first dual meet. It was App State versus NC State, and he got beat. And I was like, he looks bad, like real bad. And he's progressively gotten better. I think his tongue thing. I watched an interview post ACCs, and he said he has like some Polynesian Islander heritage, so he's doing like the haka type, dance, the warrior thing. So I guess it kind of makes sense now why he's doing.
Yeah, I thought he was doing like a Hulk, like I don't know, some kind of WWE thing.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was doing, but you got to watch the interview. It's kind of funny. He's just talking about it, but yeah, I think Cannon takes him out as well.
So I think we all have RBY making the finals. The other question mark at this weight is Vito and Fix and or Latona, because I say the three of those are probably the most popular picks on the bottom half. Obviously, RBY and Fix have their history, but Vito and Latona are just as good and can be in the finals as well.
I think Latona is going to have a tough path because let's say he beats Lamont. Lamont's still dangerous. He has to beat Ragusin. Ragusin's tough. And then he'd have to wrestle Vito. Vito's probably going to make it. He's kind of struggled off the scale. This would be what? Would this be Thursday morning, Friday morning?
That would be Thursday night would be Ragusin Latona.
Thursday night.
Vito wouldn't wrestle.
Vito and Latona would be Friday morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Vito and Latona will be Friday morning. I think that's enough time off the scale. And plus he's going up a weight this year. I think it's enough time off the scale and he's going up a weight. I don't think he has that maybe that threat of, being too tired and not recovering. But I'm going to say Vito is going to be able to kind of overcome that loss and make the semis. But Latona still has a tough pass. He still has a chance to beating Vito and being in the semis.
Yeah, I got
in the finals.
I got Fix.
You said you have Latona in the finals?
No, I've got Fix as well. But a lot of people, there's a lot of hype between Vito and a lot of hype behind Latona.
Hey, interesting fact that I heard. I think I also heard this on the Wrestling Changed My Life podcast with I don't know who he was with. There has never been a 4-time runner-up in NCAA history, and Dayton Fix is going for his.
He's going to make history.
He could make history, but remember, him and RBY have good matches. They're not like out of the realm of anything. And this is in
his backyard.
Tulsa, where he grew. I mean, he grew up close by. I'm sure he's going to have the whole city behind him. And he's fighting to make history and not make history at the same time, I guess. So I don't know.
I mean, I always like, it's interesting in the United States. It's like, you always want the underdog to win. I remember a Burrow's interview where he talks about going to Iran, talking about Iranians. Iranians always want like the hero, like the person that's been winning to keep winning. He said like he goes to Iran and like Iranians are cheering against the Iranian that he wrestles.
Yeah.
Like they're cheering for him, which is crazy. I think as a fan, like I want to see Dayton Fix get it. You know, I want to see him win. I'm not a big fan of how he wrestles sometimes. I know he wrestles hard. I don't think he's very offensive. You know, he has a good match with RBY, but he has a good match with everyone. It's always like 3-0 or 2-1 or 3-1. Like you rarely see him actually open up. Yeah. And that always like it's hard for that to convert at the national tournament if you're just always wrestling these close matches. RBY at least tries to, light up the scoreboard, and he has all these different ways of scoring. I just think it's going to come down to, Fix maybe coming out of position a little bit and RBY getting to go behind, or it might come down to maybe riding time. I think that's a big part of it. I know when DeSanto, part of their strategy to beaten, I think both those guys was ride the crap out of them. And, but I don't know. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be fun. But I'm not sure if it's going to be a high scoring match.
Yeah. I was talking to one of our coaches at work today. I was saying either he's got to ride him out and then obviously get out, because RBY rode him out last time. I think he won the first year on a riding time point and the second time in overtime, or something
in overtime.
And then either he needs to ride him out and get out, or he's going to need 2 takedowns, because you're not going to beat an offensive guy like RBY with one score. So he's going to need to produce some offense. And I don't know. I'm hoping it's exciting and fun. Hopefully it's maybe the last match of the night for me. I would say somewhere in there. I think this is what I heard too. Start at 49s. You give Yanni a chance to win 4, and then you come back around, right? A lot of times
you end at 41s.
A lot of time is settled here, and then you go 25s, give Spencer his, glory, and then 33, 41. I don't know. Or you could start at 41s, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere around there.
I said
start. I want to say let's start at 57. Let's end at 49s.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like some of the marquee matchups, it's 25s, it's 33s, it's 49s.
65s too.
65. So you start off good, and I mean, there's like questions.
There's
here.
So many.
Which weight, like side question, sidebar, side bet. Which weight do you think is the least interesting?
Least interesting weight? Like in terms of like it's chalked up already?
Yeah, I mean, no, not even that, but like, where do you like? For me, like, I don't think 41s is going to be that entertaining.
I'd say 41s or 84s.
I think 84s is it's kind of Brooks's to lose.
Dude, him and Hindley have had some battles though, man. They're not going to be in the finals. Both of them are not going to be in the finals.
I also have 74s running pretty. I have 74s running pretty.
Yeah.
Starachi's the 3, right?
Starachi's the 1.
Not Starachi. Lewis is the 3.
Yeah. Labs is the 2.
And then Labriola is the 2. Yeah, that one can get kind of boring. So like what, 74s and 41s, maybe 84s.
I think heavyweight
97s is going to be wild. Whoever's in the finals.
I think heavyweight's pretty like open. Like it's in terms, or I mean, not open, I should say. Like it's the 1 and 2 are really good. Hendrickson, I think, has a slight chance to maybe beat Kirkley. I wouldn't bet it.
No,
but I haven't watched him too much. To be completely honest, like I know we're jumping ahead now.
Yeah.
But I don't even have him. Like he's gonna, I think, even struggle possibly to even place.
I have him taking 3rd or 4th, I think.
Yarosel Slavikowski from Harvard, he's tough. The guy from NC State is tough.
Yeah.
Do you just want to let's just do heavyweights now? Since
No. Let's go. 41s. 41s.
Hold up. We're gonna move a little bit quicker here.
We got to pick up the pace.
Okay, let's just talk about who's in our quarters. Who's in our quarterfinals?
I got Woods, Hart, Jack Hardy.
I've got it to see.
Yeah.
1 through 8.
I have it to seed as well.
The only one I would think could be a potential upset is I think Swiderski gives Schwartz a good match.
Yep.
Winner of that gives Alan Hart a good match. So if Swiderski comes out on top of that, I think him and Hart, that's a banger match. Even Schwartz and Hart, that's a really good match. But other than that, I think like Brady was saying earlier, this weight's pretty chalked up. You got Matten and McNeil in the first round, 23-10, down at the 50, about 56. That's a really good first round match. Winner gets Cornella from Cornell.
I'm interested to see Carlson and Bartlett, and then Cornell and McNeil, and see how those are.
Right.
Yeah, I have so I have it to seed, I think, in the quarters, but then that's where things start to shake up for me.
Same.
I think Alan Hart's a buzzsaw. I don't think he beats Woods. I think Woods makes the semis. Ryan Jack is pretty tough. I think him and Hardy are going to battle. I think that could go either way. I have Matthews and Bartlett. I actually have Bartlett winning and getting into the semis.
So do I.
Really? I don't.
I have Bartlett
against,
placing the seed.
Alirez is tough. I still think he's not super proven. Like, I'm not super high on him right now. I do still think he has a pretty good path. Like, I still think he's a quality wrestler. I just haven't seen him come out. I know he had a really big, was it freestyle? He had a really big, I want to say what he made, like U23s, or he did a really good job with, I can't remember the event. He's very capable. He's capable as a wrestler. And then I think that following folk style year, he kind of faltered a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of had a bad showing last year at NCAA's. I had him drafted. I think he was like a 5 seed or something, and he lost in the blood round. But I think he's got a good path. I think he's a little bit more proven this year. He's had some more folk style competition because he is a freestyler. I think his results.
Do you have it, Ray? Do you have it to seed through the semis?
I do have it to seed through the semis. Yeah.
Okay, so you got Woods and Hardy, and then Woods beats Hardy. Alirez beats Matthews in the semis.
I haven't even picked Woods versus Hardy yet because that's round 3, and it's been a banger every time. And I don't know who I think. It's hard to beat a guy 3 times.
It really is. And we have a lot of those matches this tournament.
And every time there's like reviews in it that's like it goes to like there's challenges, and it's like there's a lot of questionable calls. I don't know. It's gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to those. But yeah, I think there's a lot of guys that can win this weight, honestly. I don't think Woods is totally the favorite.
Sean, you have Bartlett making the semis against Alirez, right?
Yes. And then I
think Bartlett pulls it out?
I don't. It would not surprise me. I think Bartlett is very, very good. Another guy who's dropped down a weight. Super tough dude. I really like the way he wrestles. And Alirez is good. Alirez is really good. I think he had a win over Matthews this year at Cliff Keen, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he beat him at the All-Star duel, or he beat someone.
Was Hardy there too?
He probably should have been if he wasn't hurt.
Didn't Nebraska win? Didn't Nebraska win Cliff Keen?
They did.
They always go. But Alirez is tough. I wouldn't sleep on him. I think Woods and Alirez would be an exciting finals match. I think just because we haven't seen it happen,
They're both undefeated too.
Yeah, if you throw Woods and I, as much as I would like Bartlett to make the finals because I like him, I just think that's a match that we all kind of know which direction it's going to go. So I think I'd rather see Woods and Alirez, but who knows?
All right, moving on.
This is another weight class where we had to get a new bracket. 9 seed John, is it Milner?
Yeah.
Milner from Appalachian State, former All-American, really tough wrestler, had to pull out knee infection. So everyone bumped up a seed. And then the big curveball, you can't see him here, but he'll eventually have to wrestle to get to Yanni. former All-American from Oklahoma University, Dom Demas, who is now at Cal Poly, has entered the chat, and he'll get to he got a bid into the tournament. He'll wrestle a pigtail, and the winner will get to wrestle Yanni. So he's an exciting guy. Obviously, not having the greatest year, but super tough. Obviously,
Right
great
there.
upper body, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome to see him in this tournament, and I'm excited. I'm excited. More Pac-12 love.
What does your guys' quarterfinals look like here?
I got Yanni. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. I mean, Abbas and Murin. I think.
Murin.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Yanni's gonna be in the semis. I don't think Murin or Abbas beats Yanni. But that's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be a fun second round. I got Panero Johnson and Caleb Henson. I know his nickname is PJ, but don't sleep on him. Okay, I think Panero Johnson's pretty tough. So is Caleb Henson. I think both those guys are going to be pretty tough. And I honestly think, I don't know, both those guys could beat Yanni in the semis this year. I got Parco Mahler, and then I got Yaya and Sasso.
No.
I got Yanni, Murin. I think Murin takes out Abbas. It's going to be a close one. If Abbas can win the scrambles, I think he can keep it close. I got Henson and Johnson. I got Parco and Mahler, and then I got Blockus if he wrestles as well as Big Tens. I think he can make the quarters against Sasso.
So no one's taking Austin Gomez, huh?
No.
I have Gomez losing to Parco due to the fact that he is injured, and Parco is going to shoot 1,000 times on his legs. I hope. I mean, I don't know. I like Parco. That's my dude. But Gomez, if he's healthy, he's. I don't think he's already beaten Yanni this year. So if he's a healthy dude, then this whole bracket needs to watch out. So we'll see.
It would definitely be more fun.
This weight's got some
hammers.
This weight's got some hammers. In the round of 16 is going to be sweet. Obviously, we already mentioned Abbas and Murin's a banger. Johnson versus Van Ness is going to be sick. Don't count out March from North Dakota State. Parco Gomez, Zap, and Mahler. That's going to be sweet. And then Thomas and Blockus. That round for this weight's going to be insane. Obviously I think Yanni brings it home, but you got Gomez, Parco, or Sasso on the bottom half for me that I think can get to the finals and take it to him.
Do you think what are the odds Gomez makes the finals?
If he beats Parco, I mean, if he shows that he's healthy enough and he's feeling good and he beats Parco, it's fair to say he's going to do it because he's already beaten Sasso.
I mean, he has to go through Parco. He has to go through probably Mahler, and Mahler mauls people.
I'll tell you this. Austin Gomez is the 14th seed, and obviously we don't count the All-Star, which they should count the All-Star meet as freaking criteria for the season, but he's the 14th seed and he's beaten the 1 and 2. Why would we not consider him a guy that could win this tournament?
Because he's hurt.
And that's what I'm saying. If he's feeling capable enough to wrestle and he beats Parco, you have to
even get into a stance.
You have to consider him. That was also 2 weeks ago.
Brian,
it's hard to wrestle if you're not in a stance, Sean.
Did you see what he tweeted out?
I did.
He said, "I'm healthy."
No.
He said, I'm coming for you, Brian.
Sean, give him the breakdown of what he said because it was hilarious.
Can we pull up the tweet?
I'm pulling it up right here to show y'all.
It was pretty
tweeted
funny.
Again today. He tweeted again.
I sent it to Sean, but to reference, the last time he tweeted about a certain instance, he beat Yanni. So this guy means business.
I see a Zach Bryan quote.
He said,
there's a hospital.
Now you're all in big trouble.
Hold on. Why do you do that? Share screen?
now you're all in big trouble.
Yeah, we have Austin Gomez.
Keep going down,
Heading
dude.
south, Zach Bryan. So he likes Zach Bryan. He likes Hasbullah.
Okay.
He likes Wartburg Knights. He likes Zach Bryan. Oh, this one. So I mean, what's he saying here? Like, I'm gonna go back to school, and I'm going to take you out to school with this dodgeball.
Yeah, it's basically coming for blood, and it's gonna be good. I mean, I'm rooting for the guy. I like him. I like the way he wrestles. I like his style. Kid's got spunk. I just hope he's feeling good enough to freaking let it rip.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's gonna be his knees, dude. He's not gonna be in his stance.
157.
I like him. He's Carroll Stream, baby. I'm from Carroll Stream too.
157. Let's move on. Who do you guys got in the quarters?
O'Connor. I got O'Connor and Scott. Humphreys and Frenick. Peyton Robb and Saldate. Don't be mad at me, G baby.
Beats out Cardenas.
Don't be mad at me, I said. And Andonian and Haynes. This one was tough. There's some good matches. You've got true freshman 6 seed Daniel Cardenas from Stanford. He's got 1 loss on the year, half of that Southern Scuffle. Really good wrestler. I mean, we watched him in high school. We watched him in person at Doc B a few years ago. The guy's a stud. He pushes the pace. He doesn't stop attacking. He doesn't stop moving forward. The only thing is, true freshman, and I know everyone can say it a million times over. It's happened before. They can All-American. They can win a national title. I'm just going to go in favor of Chase Saldate, someone who's got a little bit more experience, someone who's seen a little bit more, who's had a tougher schedule this year, and is a California kid. So I'm going to take Saldate over Cardenas in that round 2 match to make the quarters. Other than that, pretty much to seed.
What do you got, Brady?
I got O'Connor. I got Lawan taking out Scott. I think Lawan's gonna have a good tournament. I know he doesn't wrestle my favorite style, but he's still tough. He took second last year. I got Humphreys, Franick. I got Robb, and I got Cardenas taking out Saldate. I like them both. I just think Cardenas attacks a lot, and I don't know. That could bite you in the butt, but I think it's gonna help him in this sense, where he can give up a takedown, but he can come back from it and score more points. And I also have Andonian and Haynes, which is going to be a fire quarterfinal matchup. I think one of my favorites of the whole entire tournament.
And who wins that match, in your guys' opinion?
I got Andonian.
Yeah. So I actually picked for the pick'em that we do. I have Andonian as my 7 because you only get 1 7. I think he's a great 7 seed for that. He only has 10 matches on the year, which is not a lot. But he is super dangerous. He's got a lot of upper body stuff he can hit. He's good to scramble. Levi Haynes is really tough, and he's proven that he can be in dogfights. I think it could be, honestly, I think it's a toss up. I think if Andonian wins this, I mean, you can even, I think he might take out Robb too. I think he's in consideration to be a finalist for sure. Mm-hmm. Possibly, he's trained to be a national champ.
Yeah.
But I kind of have pretty much the same quarterfinal as Brady here. I have Lawan taking out Scott. I think Scott's a great wrestler. I know he's hurt right now. I think Lawan is looking good, feeling good. So I think he's going to make the quarters.
What about champs? What do you got?
Peyton Robb.
I really like Robb, but O'Connor has been proven. So I haven't picked yet, but that's gonna be sick. I really like both of those guys, though. I think they're good dudes. I've met O'Connor before at North Carolina. He was a nice guy. But Robb, I like the way Robb wrestles. That guy's a savage.
Yeah, Robb's a savage. I've just learned, because I kind of bet against him last year. I'm like, he's too hurt to wrestle. And
I thought that too.
Him wrestle, he would almost crawl off the mat. I'm like, dude, he is just torturing himself. And he lost his first round match last year at NCAA's, battled all the way back to to the
Third
blood
or
rounds
fourth, I
one,
think.
and then defaulted out of the tournament. The dude's a savage. I
No.
have AOC winning this.
Wait, you said Rob?
AOC.
Oh, AOC. I was like, what? Gotcha. Yeah. Illinois, huh? You're sticking with them, or Illinois, however you say their state.
Illinois. Pew, pew, pew.
What's
All right,
65s?
65s. This weight's crazy. There's a lot of different stuff that can happen here.
Who do you got, Brady?
I got quarterfinals. I got Carr, Olguin. I'm nervous about that one. I don't know if he can beat Griffith a third time. I think Griffith's really banged up. I don't know if he's come out with that yet, but he does not look right. But maybe he gets it right for his last year at NCAA. So I don't know. I'm taking Olguin. I'm taking Monday and Ramirez. I'm taking Hamidi and Kennedy. And then Caliendo and O'Toole as my quarters. And I have Carr, Monday, Hamidi, O'Toole in the semis.
Monday with the revenge match with Ramirez, huh?
Monday with the revenge match versus Ramirez. And yeah.
I've got a lot of upsets at this weight, and I think it's just because there's so many good guys here. I've got Carr and Griffith. So Griffith with the upset, getting it done over Olguin. I'm also pulling for him because I just like the guy. I think he's obviously a great dude and super good for our sport. Say it's Stanford wrestling. So how do you not root for that guy? Then Monday and Ramirez. That's to seed Hamidi. And here's my second upset. I've got Cam Amin over Pat Kennedy. I know everyone's saying Amin's hurt. Brian said it earlier. Everyone's freaking hurt. You know, it is what it is. But I think he's a former All-American. He could get it done. Another upset, Karchla over Caliendo.
Called it.
People are going to say Karchla's hurt. I know. And then O'Toole. So yeah, it's going to be good. And I have not decided who wins, Carr or O'Toole. It's a great match. I don't know. I might have to wait till Saturday night to make that call.
Are you gonna wait? Are you gonna wait until after the match happens to make a decision?
Yeah, that's usually how I set up my bets.
I do that every year with who's my favorite football team. I usually wait till after the Super Bowl.
That's a good point.
Yeah, have you guys watched Funky 2? The Flow film that's on Keegan O'Toole?
No,
I haven't seen it.
Came out like 11 hours ago. It's
it?
pretty good. It's pretty good. I got a lot out of it. I made a Facebook post about it. I think he's I don't know. I like him. I think he's one of my favorite wrestlers in the tournament. I like Carr too. I think they both really wrestle well, and I think that's good. That's probably gonna be my favorite match. I think of the tournament.
Yeah.
Is that? I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that as a publicity stunt to be putting out a flow film of an athlete 3 days before the national tournament.
I mean, it's good marketing.
Sure. If I'm that guy, I don't know. I wouldn't want it. I would rather wait till after the fact. It feels weird. It almost feels like favoritism.
I mean, who is his coach? Who is his club coach?
Ben Askren.
And then Ben Askren, how is he affiliated with Flow Wrestling?
It works for them. That's what I'm just saying. It just feels like a little bit of some favoritism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was your quarters in that real quick? What did you have?
Pretty much the same. I got let me pull back up. I jumped. Yeah, I got Carr. I don't know. Carr Griffith. Monday Ramirez. I got Monday over Ramirez. Hamidi Kennedy. I got Hamidi over Kennedy, and then I have Karkla and O'Toole. I got O'Toole over Karkla. But I mean, it's again, it's a tough way. It can kind of go either way. I don't know what's gonna happen.
74s. Brian, you started us off. Who do you got?
Okay, 74s. Yeah, quarterfinals. I got Sorochi. And Ruth. I think Ruth's pretty tough, and the guy gets after it. I got Sorochi and Ruth. I got Plot. almost as tough, but I don't think he is going to be Plot. I got Plot. I got Foca. Foca's got a tough. I mean, Kale Valencia, he's not a slouch. I don't think he's. I mean, he's quite on the level where he's going to upset Foca first round. But if it happened, like, I would be mildly surprised. I got Lewis and Smith. Aishin's got a big first round upset last year, I think. Was it first or second round? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I can't even remember who he beat.
He's tough though. He's very tough.
Brands is in there too, but I got Smith and I got Lewis. And then Mako Labriola. So pretty much the seed.
Yeah.
I've got let's see. I've got O'Reilly or O'Reilly.
Right.
I'll just say O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
Over Ruth, and it's St. Patty Day weekend, so that just makes sense to me. A good match. So we talked about Mateo Olmos or Aaron Olmos at 74's rematch with Plot. That one's going to be a banger. Winner gets Foca. That's a tough match. Then I've got Lewis and Smith and Mako and Labs. And then in the finals, I've got Starachi taking out Labs.
Yeah. I got chalk quarterfinals and chalk semis, and I'm taking Starachi in the finals.
Who you got on the other side?
He's unmatched.
I got Labriola.
You got Labriola.
Starachi, and I don't know. I've heard some rumor talk, sidetracked a little bit, but I've heard some rumor talk that next year Brooks and Starachi go up. And Starachi, and they just, both of them, they are so big for their weight class. Like when Starachi's wrestling Labriola, he just outsizes him completely. And he's faster, and he's stronger, and he's got more technique. I mean, the guy's the whole package. He's going to be super dangerous. I'd imagine he goes for an Olympic spot, and then likely, from what I've heard, transitions to the MMA world where he's probably going to be super dominant. So should be fun.
I have Mekhi Lewis over to Labriola, but I have him losing to Starachi again in the finals. But I think it'll be a good match either way.
I think he gives Starachi the best match in the tournament if he's healthy, but he said after ACCs, he said, I'm not healthy. And I know everyone's banged up and blah, 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 but he really did not look good. But you never know.
He tried to wrestle 2 years ago. I think he was maybe the A seed. He fell the A seed, and he looked like poo-poo, and they pulled him out. His shoulder was jacked up.
Yep. Yeah. All right, 84s. Sean, take us home.
Keck, Salazar here over Fine Silver in the semi or in the court or round of 16. Sorry, I've got Coleman and Munoz, Brooks and Romero. I was really tempted to take Whitlake over Bolin. I'm very tempted to, but I didn't. I kept with Bolin just because of the fireworks that come behind Bolin versus Hidley in that quarterfinal match. We have to see it. So I have to root for it. And then I got Keck and Munoz, semis, Brooks and Hidley. And then I've got Brooks obviously taking the dub at the end of the day. But this is going to be a fun weight. Some real good wrestlers here. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Who you got, Brady?
I got Keck, Fine Silver, Coleman, Munoz. If he can beat Pinto, he's lost to him at Cliff Keen. I think he's wrestling a little bit better, but so is Munoz. So that's going to be a toss-up. But since I'm wearing an Oregon State shirt, I'm going to pick Munoz. I got Brooks, Romero. I have Bolin over Whitlake. And then Hidley on the bottom. I have Hidley taking out Bolin in the quarters. Brooks as well. Coleman beating Munoz. And Keck Eisen beating Fine Silver. Yeah.
Who do you got winning it, Brian?
I got Brooks. I think him and Hidley in the semis are going to be a battle, and it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun. But I got Brooks pulling it out again. Keck Eisen, yeah. I mean, I like the way Keck Eisen wrestles. I mean, he wrestles tough. He wrestles hard. He can go and get a takedown when he's tired, but I think just skill for skill, I don't think he's on Brooks's level.
Yeah.
But I think if who I mean, yeah, I guess I just answered my own question. Like I was gonna ask, like, who out of anyone can give Brooks the best match? I mean, yeah, it's Hidley.
I think Hidley, just because he underhooks them and just keeps the match close and makes it a 1 takedown, versus Keck Eisen and him are going to get in a shootout, and Brooks is going to get 10 takedowns and Keck Eisen's going to get 3.
If anyone watched the All-Star Classic, it wasn't even close. I mean, Brooks literally dominated that match with multiple takedowns and was basically playing catch and release. If that is the national finals, I hope Keck makes some adjustments and brings it. I'm sure he will. But yeah, I guess we'll find out. There are a lot of people that are taking Munoz or Coleman over Keck, so it should be interesting.
I mean, it could happen. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
97.
All right, so heavyweights.
No, 97.
Open weight of all time.
You guys want to skip this one?
Ryan, you're up.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I didn't bring my brackets with me. Man. Okay, so Dean and All Red, that's gonna be a tough one. All Red was all over Dean's legs. I always I always think Penn State does a really good job coaching and like making adjustments and strategy. Dean could win the whole tournament. And if Dean does, I don't think it'll be that much of a surprise. It's just crazy because he's the 9 seed and he has kind of a crazy path. So Dean would have to beat All Red. He would have to beat Bonacorsi. I have Laird and Beard. Both those guys are really tough. I have Beard beating Laird, so Beard being in the semis. And then if Dean beats Bono or Bonacorsi, they would have to wrestle each other, which would be a pretty fun match. But I have Beard in the semis. I have Bonacorsi in the semis. I have Elam making it through Warner Caffey. Both, I mean, that's a tough first round match. I have him making the quarterfinals. I have Trumbull making the quarterfinals. But keep an eye on Jackson Smith. I think Jackson Smith is tough. I think he ended up getting 3rd maybe at Big Tens. He's a pretty tough cat. Sloan, if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm thinking of Neville's. Did Sloan win the Cliff Keen?
I had it up a second ago. Let me see. Give me a second. Sloan did not win the Cliff Keen. Trumbull beat Harvey from Oregon State. Sloan took 3rd.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of Neville's winning Cliff Keen.
No.
Somebody won the Cliff Keen that wasn't supposed to. And then South Dakota State got 2nd at the Cliff Keen. I know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 1 for 3.
No,
but
they
he
got
has
third.
here's Cardenas. Cardenas, I don't think skill level wise is that great. I mean, his claim right now is he beat Beard, and Beard ankle picked him right away pretty easily, and then Cardenas kind of just battled back. But I mean, I don't know. I think that could be a good match. Serber's tough. I think Bernie gets it done over him. I think Bernie is banged up, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if Bernie made the finals, I don't think that's that crazy. But he does have to get past Elam. Elam's pretty tough too. But yeah, quarterfinals, I got Bernie. I have Sloan. I have Trumbull. I have Elam. I have Laird and Beard. And then I have Dean and Bonacorsi. Long-winded answer.
I've got Elam winning the tournament. I think he beats Warner or Caffrey. Whoever wins that, it's obviously not a great second round match, but I think he gets it done. Obviously, him and Warner were the All-Star match this year. And then he gets Trumbull most likely. I think he gets past him. And Elam's good. I think he's slept on. He obviously hasn't had that many matches this year with only 11, but he's got multiple wins over Luke's, or I'm sorry, his only loss is to Luke Serber, who's down at 15 in the dual meet. He's got multiple wins over Younger Bastida. He's got a win over Tanner Sloan. I just think he gets it done. He's very good.
He has a win over Warner too, doesn't he?
That was in the All-Star.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
That technically doesn't count.
But I mean, just looking at this weight, like, I mean, there's all these guys that are in here. Like Serber's tough. I would even, Harvey's tough. Sloan is tough. Cardenas is tough. Jackson Smith is tough. Warner and Caffey are tough. Elam's tough. Laird's tough. Younger Bastida's tough. Zach Branigal's tough.
Yeah.
Michael Beard, Max Dean, even Braxton Amos. Like if we said, one of those guys or two or three of those guys were going to be all Americans, it wouldn't be that shocking.
No, not at all. Not at all. This
I got Bonacorsi. I got All Red taking out Dean. Although Dean is on my fantasy team, so I'm like conflicted here. I'm like you, Brian. I think Penn State comes out with a good game plan and can figure it out, but I don't know. Pulling for All Red inside. I got Beard and Bastida. I got Bastida taking out Laird in the round of 16. And then I have Elam, Trumbull. He'll have a tough match with Smith. That Smith is good. He's only a freshman. I think I heard that there's 4 freshmen from Maryland, so props to them. That's pretty cool for an upcoming program. They'll have four freshmen wrestling in the tournament. That's pretty cool. I got Sloan beating Cardenas, and then I got Bernie. And then I got Bernie beating Sloan. I got Elam beating Trumbull. I got Bastida beating Beard. I have Bonacorsi beating Allred. And then I have Bonacorsi beating Bastida in the semis. And then Bernie making the finals. And I haven't made my finals pick yet, but I'm leaning towards Bernie because he's a San Diego guy. And I like talking to his dad because he's a pretty sweet dude.
He is a cool guy. He's a cool guy. He came out and was at our CIF tournament, and super big, tall, giant guy, but super friendly as well.
Oceanside.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get him on the podcast?
Hey, side note, This is crazy. Bonacorsi's dad was Bernie's dad's first coach in Pennsylvania back in the day.
Oh, that's some good. That should be the juice of the week, man.
The one in
juice of the week.
I like that, Sean.
That's pretty cool. That we should have brought that forward for.
That should have been our juice, man.
That's pretty cool. That would be awesome. Them wrestling in the finals, and then
that's the talk of the tourney right there. We got break
the story right now.
The plan is to get Bernie on after nationals. We're going to try and get him. We're trying to think of a couple other guys that are competing that we could hit up, also get them on. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see who we can swing this way and get them on and chat them up and hopefully talk about how great it was to All-American and go from there. But yeah, we got some plans in the works.
Heavyweights.
I've got Harris. And I've got Davison beating Schuler. Tough to pick because I think both guys are really good. I have both guys All-Americaning. So if that match flips or flops, it doesn't really matter. I've got Schultz and Cass in the quarter. And then Kirklevitt, and I've got another upset, Hilger over Slavakowski from Harvard. Hilger's tough. Hilger's tough. He's got 8 losses on the year. He's also in the Big Tens with Paris, Cassiope, and a couple other really good guys. So Kirk, obviously. So you got to understand that those losses are the top guys. And then on the bottom side, I've got Elam and Treffin in a good match. Treffin coming out on top to face off with Hendrickson.
Yeah, right? Now actually looking at it, I think Elam, I mean, both of those guys, I don't think it's far-fetched that they beat Hendrickson in the quarterfinals.
No, not at all.
I pretty much have it kind of in the same realm as you. I'm not sure about Hilger and Slavakowski. Slavakowski is he's a tough wrestler. He's a big guy. But Hilger, I mean, I feel like I've seen Hilger get upset so many times. Like I'm not sure if he's got the gumption to get upset himself, but we'll see. He's going to have to if he's going to be an All-American, obviously. Neville's is another tough customer. I don't think he's got enough firepower to beat Kirklevet, so I got Kirklevet and Slavikowski in the quarters. And then Jaron Smith, brother of Jackson Smith, I'm assuming.
No.
But yeah, he's in here. I got Cassiope beating him. Cassiope and Schultz, that's going to be a fun quarterfinal to watch. I don't know. I think Cassiope's going to get by him, but I wouldn't be surprised if Schultz gets him. And then I have Schuler over Davison. Schuler, I'm just generally not a fan of, but I picked him on my the other draft that we did, the pick him that kind of just like the local Bakersfield coaches. I picked him, even though I've seen him stall out before, and that's usually not something that I like seeing. But I have him in Paris in the quarters.
Can I guess who your third, fourth place match is?
Sure.
Cassiope and Schultz.
He doesn't
Do
have
you
the
want me to
bracket.
answer? I don't have it written. I told you I don't have my bracket. So I don't have it written down.
Damn.
I have Hendrickson and Cassiope.
See, I just don't think Hendrickson's gonna. I have him taking fifth, and that's generous.
Have you watched him wrestle?
Yes.
I have.
I haven't watched him wrestle.
He destroyed Schuyler in the Big 12 finals. Very technically. He's good.
I'm not saying he's not good. I just don't think he's Paris, Cassiope, Kirklevet, and Schultz good.
I'll go
tier.
here. I'll go here. I got Paris. I got Schuyler. I think he's pretty tough. He's obviously Davidson's really good. I wouldn't be surprised like Sean. I have both of them All-American, AAing. I got Schultz Cassiope with Cassiope coming out on top. Although I could see that being flipped as well if Schultz pushes with a 2-on-1 and an underhook hard enough. I got Kirk and Slav. And then I have Elam and Treffin. That's a good match. I think Elam beats him though. Treffin does better against, I think he's a really athletic heavyweight, but I feel like he does good against the smaller heavyweights. And Elam's pretty tall and big and athletic as well. And then I have Hendrickson taking out Elam in the quarters, Kirk, Cass, Paris beating Cass, and Kirk beating Hendrickson. And then I haven't picked the final yet because
you suck.
I don't know. Penn State Magic is why I haven't picked yet.
No, I got Paris. Paris gets that dub.
I mean, what's the stat again? It's like 80-something%. If you're a Penn State guy and you make the finals, you're gonna win.
Yeah, something crazy.
Absurd.
Like if you're betting odds, I mean, there's a very good chance that Kirk makes the finals. He beats Cassiope.
I agree.
Well, we'll recap sometime next week. This should be fun. It's gonna be a lot of wrestling to watch Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And we'll be back next week, and then looking forward toward maybe getting after some freestyle and Greco conversations. Hopefully we do a lot of getting coaches on, getting college wrestlers on. Maybe we'll even reach out to some East Coast guys, some East Coast coaches as well, because I know we got some West Coast coaches lined up, but it would be fun to get some Big Ten guys on here.
Yeah, so people in the middle.
Yeah.
Midwest. Not East Coast.
There are some East Coast Big Ten schools, Brian.
Name one.
Penn State.
That's
literally one. That's literally one.
College?
You asked me to name one and I did it.
Where is State College?
Huh?
If I'm gonna pull up a map right now.
What about Maryland? We'll go with Maryland.
There you go.
Maryland. Final answer, Brian. Or Rutgers.
So what is the coast?
Rutgers. All right. Signing out.
I was wrong. You got me. Good job.
Good night.
Later.
Good night. So long.